Welcome to the Row Room, a podcast by Leo Club of Mumbai Carter Road. This is not just a place where we discuss service. We question the leadership. We decode systems. And this is a place where we discuss future before it becomes obvious. Today's conversation goes far beyond Leoism. Today, we are sitting down with a founder who has built a luxury travel business, a leader who has led Mumbai is one of the most influential districts. From how trust is built into high-stake travels to how leadership functions in a large-scale organizations. This episode is for anyone who wants to build smarter, lead better, and grow together. So welcome to the Row Room. This episode is powered by Creative Aura, your one-stop creative solution for all your branding needs.
This is the Row Room. You're welcome here.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
How it is so nice of you to actually remove time off your busy schedule and be here with us today. We would want to start this entire podcast by knowing firstly who you are and then deep diving into other things.
Of course, 100%. And for the record, I think so. This is one of the best initiatives that are clubbed, not at a district level, not at the multiple, but I think so internationally, this is the best initiative one could ever think of. The quality, the content, and the vision behind it is just phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you so much for saying those kind words. My first question to you is going to be, if I remove the Leo tag from your name and if I remove the most successful entrepreneur tag from your name as well, who is Rahul Narula?
Rahul Narula is an introvert chap. He sees the world the way it is. I mean, when I was a club president, I came out with a slogan that's called Inspire the Humanity Within. And it's a very beautiful thing that how I thought of it. There's this song by James Blunt called as Bonfire Hearts. In that song, the world has become colder. No one offers you a shoulder. No one looks inside your eye. And it inspired me, and it was so true. That, today, when we drive our cars, we are at the signal and a beggar comes and asks even for a single penny from us, what we do. We don't even acknowledge his presence. We feel ashamed to actually look into that person's eyes and say, no. You have to only do one thing first. That is inspire the humanity within. And then it will radiate outside. And that's exactly what it is. Leo gave me a platform. Leo and Lion gave me a platform to express this feeling. But this feeling was always there. And I just want to do one thing in life. I want to find a way, become successful enough so that I can help as many as people as I can.
Awesome. I feel like even without the Leo tag, you are a true Leo. There's this thing, one, be the change that you want to see. And I feel like you're on that path only. And secondly, if you are having failures in your life, there's a high chance that you'll be more successful than the people who have never seen failures. And same goes for your life. You saw a failure in your academics and then you overcompensated in such a way and you surpassed everybody else.
When I was in my 8th standard, I actually failed. People don't know that because a lot of times when my introduction is read, people talk about I having 2 MBAs, 1 CFA, Claritas, and then an MCom degree. All of that. But the crux of the matter is where that started. What was the genesis? The genesis was a failure. For so many years, I was getting promoted and suddenly one fine day, in 8th standard, I failed. And that was the biggest shock that I ever had. Just imagine that you have your friends in a class and now you're not going to spend time with them. Every year from standard 1 to standard 8, 8 long years, you saw the same faces every day. You created that bond and suddenly you're not with them. It completely trashed me. Secondly, my parents, just imagine if you are a father and you have a child. you are responsible to mentor the child. You are responsible to make sure that the child is successful, right? Like this podcast is also a child.
Yes.
The success of this podcast is something that is emotionally woven to you.
Yes.
Just imagine another human being.
Hmm.
It was a failure for my parents as well.
Hmm.
At every stage, every parents teachers meeting, the teachers used to lecture them that why aren't you involved in your child's education?
Hmm.
And that something surprised me because even they were going through so much. And I was seeing something, but they chose to support me all along.
Hmm.
But that failure actually motivated something in me. And that was the spirit to prove the world wrong.
Hmm.
I regrouped myself. I made sure that I take these things much more seriously, took it head on. It gave me that fire that was absent before. So I tell people a lot of times that, people are so worried about failures, but that's something that is completely wrong. Embrace failures,
Yes.
learn from them, grow from them, and trust me, if failures are embraced in a positive spirit, it only makes you stronger, nothing else.
Very true. You saw a failure and then you just nailed it. You were like, "Bhai, मैं दुनिया को दिखा दूंगा मैं क्या हूँ." Type moment you had in your life, and then you ended up doing 2 MBAs, a CFA, and then rest is history. I also know that you are little bit introverted, and despite that, you are one of the most active Leos that we have today, and you are ruling and commanding so many things that is happening. How do you do that? Because there are a lot of fellow Leos who might be watching this podcast might be very shy and introverted on should we take an initiative and should we think about things and what we are saying is right or wrong, and they have thousands of their doubts and thousands of good ideas also which remain just a thought because they hesitated to tell them. So I think you have the first experience of how you dealt with it and how you converted that into your advantage.
See, basically, what I feel is that being an extrovert, ambivert, or an introvert is just a personality type. Let's keep it that way. Somehow, this world has made it a point to say that being an introvert is perhaps not the right thing to do. I come with a social battery. And when it gets exhausted, I need my fortress of solitude. No matter what, I need to go there, recharge, get used to it, and then go back in the world and interact. So when I am aware of the fact that I come with a social battery, my interactions have to be meaningful with people.
Yes.
Every interaction has a thought, has a goal, has an agenda. And that needs to be fulfilled. Now, for example, I'm meeting my friends. What is my agenda? My agenda is to rekindle with my friendships, to re-gauge the warmth between us, and to maintain a relationship with someone. When am I into business interaction? My goal is to close a sale or close a deal. In Leo, if I'm entering, I have only 2 goals. 1, to make relationships for life. 2, to actually achieve potential good for the world. Now, when I have these goals pretty clear, I am well prepared going into an interaction.
That's great. That's like playing on your strengths and avoid your weaknesses, and don't make an excuse that you're an introvert to not make things happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So you have held a lot of leadership positions, be it at a club level or be it professionally. Do you think solitude is like a necessity for a leader, or is it a luxury?
Well, it depends on how a person is at the end of the day. But one thing is for sure, as and when you rise higher in ranks, solitude is the only thing you'll have. Now just imagine Mr. Narendra Modi or any president, any CEO. Just imagine the kind of information that they hold.
True.
About the future, about their company. If that information is leaked in a company, that can lead to tremendous consequences. If that information is leaked by the Prime Minister of the country, so how do you share your feelings? How do you vet your decisions? Today, Rahul, I have a friend like you. I can sit and I can talk my problems with you.
Yes.
You can do the same thing. But when these problems are beyond us, they carry consequences. And these leaders have to deal with these consequences on a daily basis.
Yes.
So the more you go, the more power you get, the more alone you're going to get.
Doesn't it feel very, very lonely to have that much amount of power and not have a friend to even share it with. Like today, I know that most of the Leos who are working every day, they come and they rant to their fellow Leos and they speak and their hearts are light after that. But a person like Narendra Modi, I mean, I also feel like some days he might go to Amit Shah like, "Bhai nahi ho raha mujhse, ye country nahi samble rahi mujhse," and stuff like that. All of the success that has hit to you, and kudos to you to actually make all of these things happen in such a short amount of time. If those things would not have clicked and not worked in your favor, who would be Rahul Narula today?
See, not everything clicks at the end of the day. Today, I might have 100 plans and only 2 things work for me. But people don't know what exactly happened in my list of plans. That those 98 actually failed, and that's the reason 2 of them passed.
Yes.
And that's what I feel I would be. If 2 ideas didn't work, if the things that I've done didn't work, I would have still tried. I would have still made sure that something works out. And that is what I would have been. A person who's always trying, because I'm still trying. Life is all about experimenting, understanding, and knowing your environment. Just tell me one thing. When we step out of this room, do we know what exactly is going to happen to us?
No.
Can you predict the next moment? Then how are you taking that leap of faith? Why aren't you just sitting at home in your comfortable, cozy blanket, in your air condition? Why aren't you doing that? Why are you actually coming out every day and trying to achieve what you want to? I ask you this.
I mean, you definitely have to take that leap of faith to make things happen. But at the end of the day, like today, if somebody has to ask me that question, Ki Rahul, if things would not have functioned, if you would not been an engineer, the MBA would not have worked, would not have gotten into anything, if nothing would have worked, I would have still end up being a good person. I would have been a little frustrated with, oh, why are things not working in my favor? But I would still be a good person and just doing what I could do best and just hope that it would convert someday into my future.
You wouldn't lose faith, right? You still try.
I would still try. Definitely, I would still try.
Exactly.
Not have lost faith into it. It's just that I would have believed, okay, it's going to happen, but it's just taking a little more time for us.
You know, you're absolutely right. Just imagine the quantum of growth that has happened today. For example, 20 years back, when your father and my father used to do business, marketing was very simple.
Yes.
You have billboards, you have newspapers, you have probably telephone and TV. 4 things categorized by money. Today, decisions are so complicated.
Yes.
If I have to boost an ad, I have to look at my target audience. I have to look at their interests. I have to envision that person who exactly is my target audience, and then decide my marketing strategy.
In fact, choosing a target audience itself is a very complicated job.
Exactly. Yes. And that's the reason there are experts. Now, if fields have become so complicated, plethora of opportunities are there, but you need to be patient. You need to experiment. Because if you lose on that, boss, you're gone.
Gone.
You lost the plot.
Makes sense. Awesome. I think that's a masterclass in itself of what we have learned. And so on, I would want to have a masterclass on how you built such a big company and like taking from a traditional company that your grandfather started to making it what it is today. Let's get into that.
So basically what had happened is in the 60s, my grandfather was into a lot of business. So we are essentially Punjabis. So my grandfather was an aeronautic engineer. And at that time, being an aeronautic engineer was something different altogether. But you know, he was an entrepreneur. He did not want to take a job. He didn't want to do anything. So he tried a lot of things. He opened a manpower business. He opened a restaurant. He did a lot of things. But then finally settled down on travel. Now his success stories are so great that under his leadership, my grandfather, my father, and my chachu, all of them were able to cater to the Pope when he came in the 1970s, 1970. He bought a convoy and we were able to, you know, for all the cardinals and all the ex or church officials, we were able to cater to them at one of the stations at Bhopal. He was doing an India visit at that time. And that's where things started up. And then he actually removed 2 special trains to Nepal. And at that time, volumes were not a lot. Indians did not travel that much. And he did a lot of things. He was a founding member of, I believe, TAFE at that time. That is Travel Agents Federation of India. Now, when that was taken up by my father, He maintained that business. He created a nurture of it. We expanded globally with our products and offering. And then the third generation came in. That was myself. And you know what? Our generation was at that time know it all. So I thought perhaps there's another way that we can look at. There's another business venture that we can start. So in 2016, we started TripCheers. And that was an online travel portal. We thought that we'll consolidate some airline APIs, some hotel APIs, and then we'll start selling flight tickets, hotel bookings to masses. And that was my plan. In that venture, I had to roam around and knock a lot of doors to get those APIs, to get the developers. And I did not know, I'm not from a tech background, I'm an MBA marketing person. So for me, it was a learning curve. And you know, when you're starting something new like this with a lot of industry entry barriers, information is not freely available.
Agreed.
You have to dig deeper, dive, you have to look, you have to understand, then you have to figure out. And we did exactly that. After a lot of struggle for 1.5 years, we were able to curate a website that was able to sell flight tickets, hotels, and so on and so forth. Now, incidentally, that didn't work that well.
Okay.
Because we saw that we entered in the business at the time when Skyscanner was also coming in, margins were skimming, profit margins were not there. And to sustain a business like this, you needed two things. A lot of capital that you can infuse, and the second thing is heavy discounting. At that time, we had a critical choice. Should we start pumping in money to sustain this travel portal, or should we diversify? At that very moment, we thought that let's get into a different market. Because this is going to be there. But what will I do with a 0.5% margin? No matter how much money I pump in, until unless I don't have a free flow ending money, sustaining this business might not be that good.
Agreed.
So we started shifting from typical hotel booking to airline booking to something where we started planning for our, our guests, our patrons. And in that process, we realized a lacuna. Now, we identified 3 types of travelers. One, the person who wants the maximum value for money. Or should I say value performance. If he's paying $1, he should get $1.5 back. Now, they're okay putting in efforts, but they want that dopamine. They have money. What they're chasing is dopamine. The fact that, "Arey, paisa bachaya, pura vasool." वो dopamine chase कर रहे हैं. We realize those are not our customers. The second aspect, were that they are okay spending money, but they want to research. If they want to go to Japan, for example, they want to exactly know where they're going to travel, which city, which street, which train, what noodles they're going to have, whether they're going to have ramen or udon noodles, they want to know that.
Yes.
They want to, there are those people who will probably look at udon noodles on a YouTube video and, their slavery gangs will start, they'll all jump up. But they're very informative. The process of researching is very important for them. We thought, okay, this is an interesting segment. And of course, the last segment is, boss, देखो, मेरे दोस्त जा रहे हैं, मेरे को 10 Instagram के photos लेने हैं, तुम देख लो, मेरे को खाली Instagram के photo होने चाहिए. And those people, you know what questions they ask me? Rahul, the package that you've planned for us, the trip that you've planned for us, does it cover 80% of all important things? And the answer is simple, yes, they're happy. No more questions.
Very simple.
Very simple. Because, see, they're ultra focused in their own work. And these 2 people are our customers. The adrenaline junkies, the ones which enjoy travel planning, TripCheers started a consultancy service for them, where we talk to them, we indulge, we dive deeper into their thoughts, what they want, and then we discuss each and every element of the itinerary with them. We take a commercial fee. There is a commercial interest. Listen, at the end of the day, Rahul, I need to run my home.
Yes.
I need to buy my BP medicines because working always increases one's BP.
Yes.
So all of that requires finances. So we tell them very upfrontly that this is our fee that we're going to charge. But in return, we're going to give you a travel advisor.
Yes.
That's going to be with you throughout the trip. Point number 1. Point number 2, it's going to professionally plan your trip. After consulting with you, we get them in our office or we send them YouTube videos. We give them a full presentation. On day 1, you're going to look here, you're going to go there. This is how it's going to look like. And they feel completely involved. At the end of the day, trust me, Rahul, they feel that they're actually getting a travel mate with them, a virtual travel mate. Because I've seen these people coming back and then having an emotional connection with us. Because each and every day in the planning trip, we were completely involved. And that's what they pay for. Good enough that we were able to attract people who valued our association. HNIs, UHNIs, and first families were quite enthralled. And I'm excited for the future.
You said that there's no free flowing money and you carried on a legacy and you started the startup. Did you ever feel like if I would have taken some funding into this company, it would have grown more and it would have seen much more success than what it is today? Or you have those plans ahead for your company?
See, right now, what happens, Rahul, is that we are trying to adjust in an adapting market. A venture capitalist, an angel investor will come in when the market is stable. Right now, the market has a lot of lacunas. So as the business is evolving, see, right now, AI has just come in. And our industry has always been evolving. You know, back in those days when my father used to do business, they used to have those ticket booklets.
Yes.
We would know. Beautiful booklets, 10 pages. It used to feel that you're actually traveling.
Yes.
And margins used to be as high as 30% at that time. Now that has come down to 1%, 2%.
Which is a very big drop.
Very big drop. So an investor will only come in when they understand the market has stopped evolving or there is a balanced trajectory somewhere, which they can predict. Right now, that predictional value is not there.
Makes sense.
Which what we feel is that we want to first get our models right and then go in the open market for an investment. Because once you start diluting equity, your say in the company also goes away.
Okay.
So right now, till we don't get the hack of it, we will not go. And trust me, even bootstrapping, no problems till now. So
Fingers crossed. If it works, it works.
yeah.
And very honestly, it is much better than nowadays people inflating their valuations and then going into funding and then the bubble burst, which is a very big disaster. Better than that, just wait for the right opportunities.
Very well said. In fact, I feel India is moving towards a place where valuations have become everything.
Yes.
Bottom line is not important. Raise the top line somehow, do some accounting things and get your balance sheets into profits. Get your IPO out and then next year, bhai, I'm chilling now. I'm going to Bahamas to have fun.
At the same time, when you work with HNIs and UHNIs, they do not sit and find out कि भाई ठीक है मेरे को ये restaurant मिल रहा है नहीं मिल रहा. They trust you fully. How do you build that trust in them कि yes, we are the right company to work with?
So, there are multiple things. When we talk about UHNIs and first family specifically, they don't have the time to sit or to even give you their visions.
True.
They have a lot of people behind them. Their people engage with my people. They define what they want, what is their idea, and we try to gauge from their minimum conversation what we can give them the best. Now, trust is one thing which is most important in our industry. In fact, if you go to a travel consultant or a travel agent, the one thing that you're seeking is trust. That's it.
Yes.
Because just imagine, this is one of the only products rather in the market where you pay things upfront for everything and then receive services on a later date.
Yes.
And that's the biggest downside. आज आप दुकान पे आप जाते हो, you see your product. You go and buy a phone, you check it 10 times. You check reviews with 10 people. But in my industry, everything is human-centric. The driver is human. The hotelier is human. The restaurateur is human. The chef is a human. And when humans are there, mistakes can happen.
Yes.
So what we try to do is we try to mitigate them as much as possible. Second thing, we give them complete transparency as to what they're getting into. If, for example, someone who does not want to walk too much, I would not suggest them go on a trek to Mount Fuji.
Yes.
Even if that means I'm going to cut on my profits, that's completely fine. Because I need to align my goals with you, only then things are going to work out.
True.
And we start by opening up the whole cost of the tour. Every single penny that you spend, from your cab to your sightseeing, to your meal, to your hotel, we put it out there. No other company out there would give you such cost transparency.
I know that a lot of traditional travel businesses, or even the modern ones that are there, they actually make profits out of shadow pricing, not the transparency model that you're working at. Are you able to provide that level of transparency on where they're going and what they're doing and how much they're paying for each and every activity that they're doing? Is it like a commission based model that works best for you guys, which is being like a vendorist thing? Because you have to make your profits. It is not something like an NGO that you have to feed people who work for you. How does that work?
Like you've rightly said, business requires profit.
Yes.
And each transaction has to have a positive cash flow. Absolutely right. Now, first of all, very rightly pointed, what is shadow pricing? Let me explain that to you. Basically, shadow pricing is a situation where I am going to add my profits into different services. For example, a cab ride, I'm going to add $2, $3 there.
Yes.
Probably in a restaurant reservation, a $5 ticket, and overall inflated to around $300, $400. Now you'll keep on guessing how much money are you paying for the flight, the hotel, whether it's worth it or not. And if you start asking me the right question, hey, you know what? If I remove the flight, then what? I'll be like, no, wait. If you're removing the flight, the cost is different. Because suddenly my cost for buying the flight is lower.
Yes.
But at the time of selling you the package, I say, you know what, sir, please look at the flight tickets at 90,000. But the day you start asking me for a discount that I'll do my flights, I'll give you a lower value for it.
True.
And they do that all across. That in itself creates mistrust. Because the moment you're spending money, and India is a very price sensitive or a price performance market where people want the maximum value out of their money. And we cater to that ideology simply by giving them the cost breakup. You know, Rahul, you'll be surprised. Only India is not the price sensitive market.
Okay.
We do a lot of business with German. And trust me, people have this perception, oh, you know what, it's a European person, probably it's not going to be that price sensitive. No, they're more price sensitive. They're quite stingy when they spend money. And that's what makes them really smart. Frugality towards finances is not a bad thing. It makes a community smarter.
You started by selling tickets. 2016 is when you launched your own selling platform. And then slowly, gradually, you have evolved your business model into today actually selling trust, where you are a person where HNIs, UHNIs, and everybody from every segment can trust and is actually paying you on that trust key. Okay, I trust you with your decisions. I trust you with your pricing. Take my money and take me along. One, how did you figure out that this is the best way? And was it a conscious decision of making that change happen? Or was it a strategic decision that, okay, I want to stand out from the market?
See, I'll tell you one thing. When we created the TripCheers.com, that time we wanted to get into the online space. It was the cool space to be.
Yes.
Why not we be there as well? But we realized that it's a cool space. Technology growth is an amazing thing. Right now, everyone is talking about an AI. You know what? I can actually increase my company's valuation by just adding an AI chat box to my website. And suddenly I'm going to tell everyone that, you know what? TripCheers is an AI powered website.
True.
And that's the phenomenon of the growth progress that's happening right now. So what we looked at is very prospectively that we want to use technology, but in the world where everyone moving towards only technology driven business, we wanted to have a happy marriage between a human touch and technology.
Perfect. So you mentioned adding just a AI chatbot to your existing thing makes you an AI company. But it is also true that AI is doing a lot of the tasks when it comes to concierge services, when it comes to personalization, when it comes to finding out pricing and researching across web. It has become very, very easy. In the time when your grandfather was actually making things happen, a customer might just go to like 2 or 3 vendors at max and speak to them about, okay, I want to go this place, what will be the pricing and what is the itinerary for the same. But now they are researching across 50 or even 100 websites at the same time. They're just giving a prompt to AI and it's doing all the tasks. Do you feel that in this AI era, you need to evolve your business model at the same time? Is it actually affecting how people travel also? Like in real life, does it make a very big change for a solo traveler also to use AI to actually enhance his experience?
See, for a solo traveler, AI is making information dissemination very easy. Instead of you going on a blog, a YouTube video, Googling your destination, researching, then jotting down your points, AI is able to give you that much more faster. That's true. But AI works on the idea of what masses would like. It has a habit of generalizing people's opinion, thoughts, looking at the whole people as homogeneous lot. Why do I say so? If you type a typical itinerary for Japan, probably with few modification, it will give you the same template. It won't be able to understand whether you're going to like sumo wrestling, or would you like the art of making noodles, or would you want to go to an Indian restaurant, or can I make you experience something new? That can only happen after a lot of conversations. Now, when you're talking to an AI, the task of initiating the conversation, the task of making the artificial understand you is yours. AI is not incentivized to actually understand you better. The more you talk, it will understand. But when you come to a human like me, with the AI infrastructure that I also have at my disposal, my job is to understand you better. My job is to basically know you better. And that drives my product to be more superior than an AI product. Because it's my job to give you something different, to understand, to have a conversation.
That is a learning in itself. My last question to you in this segment is going to be about, while building TripCheers, it's almost been a decade that you have been working in this. What do you think was your most expensive mistake, be it emotionally, strategically, financially, that actually helped you also to grow?
I think so. The biggest emotional mistake that we took was to actually run behind technology only and forget that there is a lot of value between human to human contact. And that's what we wanted to actually dwell on right now. So we created a business model where we utilize technology. We utilize the concept of empathetic human model, where a person is empathetic about the customer. And at the same time, able to give them that cost transparency and full disclosure kind of an attitude.
So we deep dive into who Rahul Narula is and what he has built till today. But there's also a part of you which is not just Rahul Narula, but that is Leo Rahul Narula and Leo Lion Rahul Narula. Then, how did your Leo journey actually started, and what inspired you to actually become a part of this movement?
So when I graduated from my college at that time, I was looking out to do something special. I don't know what I wanted to do something extracurricular, apart from my business, apart from the regular stuff that I was doing. And that was the time, interestingly, something happened in my family. There was this close family member who got sick. And I told the doctor that, why can't we solve this problem? It should be solvable at the end of the day. Don't you have medicines, injections, or surgeries that we can help and solve the problem? He said, no, unfortunately, they don't have anything. And that moved me. Because at that time, I felt everything should be under my control. I was a control freak. And then I started thinking that, I need to get into something where I can help people. If I'm able to change a faith of one person, I'm able to change the will of God. Now, I was very naive to think that, but that's what I thought. That, why not get into something, help someone and change the way that they look at life. And I tried getting into Leo Club of Juhu. I called up the president. I said, hey, I want to be a member of your club. And I just found Leo Club of Juhu online. I thought I'll just sort of become a member. Called him and I said, you know what? I want to become a member. And the president said that, okay, I'll tell you. And I followed up next day. He said, I'm really sorry, but Leoism is an invite-only kind of a thing. You can only come if you have a reference. And I did not know anyone from Leo movement. I was not one of the people who would give up. So I contacted a few people. I met some auntie who was a part of some Lions Club. She connected me with this person known as Ojas Rawal. At that time, I believe he was the multiple district president. He called up my Leo Club president and said that this particular boy wants to become a part of the club. Please induct them. And the next day, I get a call from him. You know what? Just fill up the form and be a part of it. And from there, it was just history. I loved it. I mean, what was service, fellowship, I just loved the whole concept. It was mind-blowing.
So, when did you start your Leo journey?
It was in the mid of 2015. I think so it was September or something like that.
So, it has been a decade that you have been serving people. So, what is one story that really moved you throughout your decade of service?
You know, the funny story here is that when I became a member, after 1 month, I got a call from this person called as Rajan Jogi. He was a treasurer of her club, and he was like, Rahul, do you want to head a service project? And I said, okay. Now, I didn't know what heading a service project was. I thought perhaps I have to do something. I had no brief whatsoever. So the next day I call him and I tell him, what is this project about? He's like, you know what? We're going to go to a garden. We have a small wagon. We have painted the wagon in beautiful colors. We have books. It's called a book bug. We're going to go there and we're going to have some kids. We're going to tell them to read it. And we're going to read it with them. So I said, what do I have to do in it? The car is there. The kids are there. The garden is there. What do I have to do? He's like, you know what? You can arrange for some food. हाँ मेरा पहला था फर्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट डैड को बोला खाना का करना है क्या करना है कैसे करना है तो मतलब मेरे डैड ने बोला अरे पहला प्रोजेक्ट है थोड़ा अच्छा कर डू समथिंग इंटरेस्टिंग पीपल शुड सी दैट यू हैव डन समथिंग पुट योर मार्क पुट योर कल्चर पुट योर सो आई वेंट आउट आई प्रिंटेड दिस ब्यूटीफुल बॉक्सेस आई हैड ओनली 50 रुपीज पर बॉक्स मैं गया बॉक्स प्रिंट किया पीछे लियो क्लब ऑफ जू का लोगो डाला और दूसरी तरफ लियो ओमेगा का लोगो डाला तो एक बर्गर डाला सैंडविचेस डाला थोड़े फ्राइज डाला और लेके गया एंड एवरीवन वाज आउट ऑफ देयर हेड द प्रेजेंटेशन द बॉक्सेस द ट्रांसफर they didn't expect they expected me to come with probably some samosas I don't know what it was and they loved it the next thing I know the board is talking I am being called in the regular meeting and said that you know what he did such a beautiful job with his project and I loved it and the project in itself was so beautiful looking at those kids read books me sitting with them in a nice gloomy nice weather with a box of food I loved it I mean I still can't forget it and I'm really thankful to my president that year and the treasurer Rajan Jogi for giving that opportunity it was just moving.
Definitely, you would have done a lot of things that went right, that you rose through the ranks so quickly, from being just a Leo member to becoming a club president to getting into district and then ruling the district as well and so on and so forth and then becoming a Leo Lion and now in Lions also you hold so many responsibilities. How and what do you feel went right and what are the things that you saw while rising through there and what is your learning throughout that journey?
See, I was a very vocal person. I'm a person which enters a room with a vision. And that's what I did. Every place that I went, whether that's my club's board, whether that's at the district, whether that's as a club president or the district president, I had a vision that I wanted to execute. And the best part is, Leo movement in general is a place where you can make mistakes. Nowhere else you can actually choose to make mistakes. Imagine a scenario in your office. If you're doing a job, if you're doing business, you're bounded by the limitations it brings you. Right?
Yes.
You can't go up to your manager and say, hey, you know what, I have an idea. Be back, listen, go back to work. We'll talk later. But here you can do that. And every time I entered a room full of people and I said, hey, I have an idea, they actually entertained it. They actually promoted me and they actually congratulated me. And that was just amazing and fantastic. And that's the crux of the Leo movement, I feel, went really well and it's still going well. New initiatives are loved, applauded and promoted.
Today's Leos, they are doing a lot of service activities and there's a lot of good that we have been doing, Leos and Lions together. But somewhere or the other, the scalability factor is missing. Okay, you do something good, you're donating machines, you're donating food or even direct cash to some people. But a long-term impact that we can leave in somebody's life rather than affecting 100 lives, if we affect 10 lives, but we make a very significant impact. That scalability factor is missing. What would you say about that?
See, I'll just say that there are 3 points. The first thing is succession planning. We are, as an organization right now, we are not able to get leaders in place. Ideally, a club should know who are going to be the next 3 presidents. Of course, have healthy competition, have all of those things. but you should be able to identify at least 5 people that can become presidents. Then mentor those 5 presidents as to what your club is, what your club culture is, what is your vision as a club leader. The second important thing is lack of consistency. Because we are not able to identify these leaders, we are not able to get them on the same page. What's happening is that when a new leader comes in, he comes in with new ideas, new thoughts. And that's where it's good because fresh ideas is being implemented every year. At the same time, when you say that it creates an issue with projects that could be continuous with lasting impact, you need time, you need patience, you need to build on it. That can only happen if there's a proper succession planning. That can only happen when we have identified leaders in that particular institute, mentor them, coach them, made them understand this is the culture of the club and this is what we want to do in the next 5 years. Of course, you have all the right to experiment, but this one thing is something that our club wants to stand out with. That's our thoughts, that's our ideology. That is a second problem, that we are not able to coach these people. And the third biggest problem is following numbers. When a person comes into this particular position of a president, they look at the awards, they look at the things that the other clubs are doing, and they want to get into the rat race. There's nothing wrong in that. But if your aim is to have a consistent impact, that won't be possible. So I always tell clubs 3 things. First, get your leadership in place, sorted. Get training programs so that your leaders know exactly what kind of club you are, what affiliations you have, what is your vision in general. The second thing is to basically focus on certain focus areas consistently, keep on investing time, money over the years. And the third most important thing out of all is the focus to create something valuable, that vision, which essentially somewhere or the other gets disconnected.
So do you feel there is something that needs to be reinvented in Leo?
It's already happening. Our leaders are doing fantastic job. Every year when a new district president comes in, when a new set of president comes in, they do best of their ability, and I love that. We are moving towards it. And like you, me, the best part about Leoism is that this is a democratic organization, point number 1, and everyone has equal equity.
Yes.
I am a past district president. You are a new member. Doesn't matter. We both are Leos. You know the best thing what the current international president Lion AP Singh did? From his stage, he took off his jacket, went down and told everyone that, hey, you know what? I'm not your international president. I'm just a lion. And that's the idea we want to embrace. The moment you and I become equal, that respect becomes equal, we an organization will phenomenally grow, and I'm happy. Our district and our multiplier is doing a phenomenal job right now. So we are moving towards there. Every day, one day at a time.
So you mentioned CSR funds. I feel this is a topic that a lot of the clubs would want to learn from you is how do they operate and how to secure funds, because I feel a lot of clubs have a lot of valuable people who can actually bring the change. It's just somewhere the funding is missing or somewhere something else is missing. If you can guide them upon how to get CSR funds and how to actually properly use them.
See, CSR is corporate social responsibility. It's a mandate by the government to the companies that they have to invest a certain amount of funds back to the society. Now, when a club wants to look at CSR funding, a company looks at projects as a tactical product. Why do I say a product? Because a product has to have deliverability, reliability, and impact. And that's what they expect a service project to be. It has to be deliverable, it has to happen in a timely manner, and it should have an impact. Now, for example, a company wants to invest money in healthcare. And we as Leo clubs want to do something in healthcare. The company will also vet us. How will they check our credentials, our credibility is by our past record. How well we document our previously executed service projects. How confident are we with regards to the project report is concerned. Whether have we got the costing right. Have we been able to secure 3 vendor costing so that we know exactly what we are buying into. Do we have the design and the necessary skill sets to execute the project? Now, when they vet that a club has all of these 3 things, they don't mind giving us money. They would love to do that, because if they know that you are aligned with their goals, Money is not a problem. That's why CSR funding is there.
Hmm.
But whereas we, Leo movement in our district lag is in the sense that we are not able to document these things properly. Which we're doing it right now. I feel somewhere we are moving towards that. But when we start documenting, we start creating proper case studies of our past successes and then presenting it well in the form of video, PDFs, documents, case studies. CSR fundings will happen.
Agreed.
That's somewhere we need to work on, I feel.
Awesome. Also, one part of Leoism that I feel goes neglected in all the conversations is Leos don't only work for the society, they work also for fellow Leos. It cannot be justified exactly how that happens, but it can be as simple as I am a Leo today and you are a Leo, and I can have tons of problems. There's everybody going through a lot of stuff. I can just come and speak to you very easily, and you are also a professional, you go through that, so it becomes much more easier to connect with you and tell you ki yaar, this is happening in my life. And maybe it sounds like a very small thing, but for the person who's able to do that, it's a very good mentally relaxing thing and keeps everybody's mental health right. And in general, Leos also help Leos. What are your thoughts on that?
I think so it's because of the base camaraderie and how our organization is structured in a way. I'll give you an example. Imagine you're walking on a street and someone randomly comes up to you and tells you, hey Rahul, hi. Or probably just hi. He does not know your name. What will be your reaction?
I would react by saying hi or respond ki,
But there'll be a question mark.
yes.
Why is he talking to
Why
me?
is he talking to me?
You know, this doubt
Hmm.
in your head. But just imagine a different situation. You're probably in a different city or a different country, and someone comes and tells you, hey, I'm Leola and Rahul Narula. The moment you listen the word Leo or lion, that trust aspect is created.
True.
And that's the beauty of our organization. Somehow, these 1.4 million people have found a way to trust each other, to create this sense of camaraderie amongst each other. No matter which part of the world you are, which language you speak, as soon as you have that lion logo or a Leo logo, or you can say Leo, that builds that trust. And that's the defining moment of what you're saying. That Leos work for each other is because that trust, that camaraderie, the sense of belonging is there.
Awesome. That was such a learning from you. But let's have a little bit of fun. Let's have a rapid fire round. And I'm hoping all your answers are fiery and we can get as much as possible, and let's be as candid as possible.
I hope I don't get in trouble.
No, you won't. Or you might. Let's see. Let's find out. Scale fast or scale right?
Scale right.
Founders control or investors money?
Founders control.
Global brand or local dominance?
Well, of course, global brand, by prejudice.
Leadership fails when?
The ideas are not well placed. The vision is not there.
Okay. Most NGOs struggle because?
Because they are not able to get their processes right.
Power without empathy becomes?
Autocracy or dictatorship.
Titles in Leos matter more than impact.
Well, to some people, but not to all.
Okay. Good Leos burn faster than the bad ones.
Absolutely. They follow the religious processes. I mean, it's just difficult on both asking on them.
Luxury travel is mostly fake storytelling.
Not really. Luxury is really appreciated when it's done right.
I want to ask you a few hypothetical questions and you tell me your views on it.
Sure.
If Leo had no hierarchy, would it work?
I don't think so. Hierarchy is required. It brings structure, it brings organization to a particular thing.
Okay. If transparency reduces profits, would you still do it?
Well, not really. Transparency is important. Being honest with a person always gets you more profit.
Okay. If a young Leo outperforms seniors, should they lead?
Of course, 100%. Merits over seniority.
If service stopped giving recognition, would you still feel people would show up for service?
90% of good deeds in the world are not done by folks who have a lot of power. It are the common folks, those average folks doing those small good deeds that keep the world afloat. So no matter what it is, recognition is not important. What's important is doing the right thing every day.
If you weren't a Leo, what would you miss the most?
I would miss the gratitude of doing something good with my friends.
Awesome. One advice you would give to future Leos?
Do whatever you want to. Don't listen to people who tell you. If you have a good idea and if you have the right spirit, go for it. Experiment.
And one advice for future Leo leaders?
Make sure that you give the freedom to your people, your Leos, so that they can experiment and they can be the best version of themselves.
And for future founders who are chasing growth?
Simply stay consistent, stay honest, and focus on creating the right product rather than focusing on just creating the bottom line.
One Leo habit that you would change?
Not being on time. And I'm also guilty at charge. A lot of times people will say this is hypocrisy, Rahul. I'm also not on time, but I think so being on time is important.
Awesome. That was a very good segment with you. I loved it.
You know, you've asked a lot of questions right now. Let me turn the table for you. Let me interview the interviewer.
Sure.
Are you ready for it?
Yes, and perfect.
So tell me one thing. You got into the Leo Club. Now, I've
Yes.
been in this organization for the last 10 years.
Yes.
So I have some voided vision.
Yes.
Give me a fresh perspective as to what you see this organization is.
I have been in the organization not even for 2 months, to be very fair. So I'm very, very new when compared to you. But I have seen how passionate people are here. Before joining the organization, I had heard a lot of things about, oh, this is just a social club. This is where people just come to like meet other people, which happens, which is a byproduct of what they're doing. But that is not what they're actually doing. There's a lot of good that they're doing. There's a lot of things and there's a lot of flavors of people that you'll meet here, to be very honest. And they come with that fire of doing things. Yes, you will meet a lot of inactive Leos and you'll feel कि अच्छा 30 लोग हैं या 40 लोग हैं और सब नहीं कर रहे. But the 10% or 20% of people who are actually making an impact, that is so much worth it. I just see कि okay, somebody is doing something good, I will go forward and I will do it with them. There is no crab thing कि कोई ऊपर जा रहा है तो लोग 4 लोग
नीचे खींचो,
Yeah.
all of that. Interesting. So मेरे को एक चीज बताओ ना. You came into this organization. You had a blank canvas.
Yes.
And you met so many people. What inspired you to actually start this initiative?
To be very honest, we started Roar Room with a perspective of कि everybody is doing everything and it is very hard for Rahul Narula to actually go and speak to every Leo. But there should be a platform where he can speak to every Leo because his ideologies can make a huge impact. And same way, I intend to call more people here who have made an impact in Leoism or in any other NGOs also. It is not about कि you are a Leo and you are here. It is about that you're making a change, be it at service, be it professionally. And we would want to hear you and we would want the world to hear from you. Even if you cannot be physically present somewhere, this platform should speak for you.
So you're giving voice to people.
Yes, very much.
Amazing. Amazing. You know, I'm a little in conundrum right now. So usually when you invite someone on a podcast,
Yes.
you want to bring that person who's subject matter expert. Now I want to take this opportunity to discuss a few questions with him, who's also a subject matter expert in a lot of things. Well, I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, that you've worked with FIFA and ICC.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Dude, that's phenomenal.
Thank you so
Can
much.
you share more experience? I mean, I'm pretty sure there are so many Leos who would really want to learn from this experience.
So at the very early stage of my career, I was not even 21 when I became part of these projects. I started with ICC. I ended up making an international web series with them for the Men's World Cup, which was called Wicket to Wicket. And it went fantastically well. The ideology behind that was to make science more interesting. So that teaches kids about what is the science behind cricket. And within just 2 minutes, it teaches all complex topics. So if you can just spare 2 minutes to watch one of their videos, you have already learned a basic understanding of that topic, be it Magnus effect or anything. And same time, FIFA was coming up. Byju's was one of the main sponsors for FIFA Qatar World Cup. And this ICC thing was going on great. So when that came to an end, I got an opportunity to jump into FIFA. And there I got to play a very higher role, where I was one of the chief editors to the entire web series. And I still feel that is just on the paper. I ended up doing everything end to end, and I was working extensively in it. And I got to work with one of the most fantastic teams there, launch a 3-seasoned web series on FIFA's own platform, FIFA Plus and YouTube. And it got over 1 billion views. It was purely an experience, and I say this with a lot of pride that I do not have any formal education when it comes to the creative works that I do. And despite that, just watching YouTube tutorials, just watching my seniors do it and learning. When I started my entire journey, I did not even have a laptop. I used to borrow laptops from my college seniors and tell them कि यार मुझे एक रात के लिए दे दे. I used to be awake the entire night, learn on these things, and wait for the time that I can get my own laptop. So starting from there, where I was an engineer and learning all of these things, I could make that web series. Even before I was 21, I could launch an entire web series like that. Was a turning point in my life where I felt ki yes, I have made something happen.
That's phenomenal. In fact, I remember the first conversation that we had. We started about the podcast. We started talking about something about business, AI travel. We went into crypto.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, this person knows what he's talking about. Tell me one more thing. This is my last question though.
Sure.
You're in the business of essentially media space, yeah?
Yes.
Do you think as an organization, are we marketing ourselves well? Or is that because, you know, I'm asking you this because our international president, AP Singh, has this big thing in his head that we Lions have to learn to market now and we need to spread our good deeds to everyone. Do you think we are able to justify at our level?
I feel it is a hit and miss situation.
Okay.
In my span of 2 months, I've seen a lot of service activities happen, even at my home club, that is Leo Club of Mumbai Carter Road. And I feel there also we are missing out on the opportunity to actually do this. Now, the cross perspective to this is we are more interested in doing service activities than doing a show, which is a very good thing. But I feel it should not be seen in that format. It should be seen in a format like we are doing a good activity and we are showing it off to the world so that they also get inspired to do the same good.
Correct.
It's like you are creating that butterfly effect. I have done this small thing, but somewhere or the other, somebody much more powerful and much more in a decision-making space might see that thing, which is a very small thing for you. But for him, it might move him in a certain format that he brings a very big impact. So you are just that tiny butterfly who's bringing, like who's just flapping their wings around. But where it creates a tornado, you don't know. So don't market yourself to say that you are the greatest, but market in such a way that people get inspired via that.
वो बोलते हैं ना एक हाथ से काम के दूसरे को पता नहीं चलना चाहिए बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली बहुत सारे हाथ चाहिए काम करने के लिए
Exactly, that's the thought.
बात तो सही I really like see that's the beauty of this organization today I feel this is how our organization is evolving there are old thoughts then there are new school of thoughts and how they get married to each other and create this weird concoction and 1.4 million people, just imagine it's not a small number.
True.
More than 150 countries across caste, creed, religion, country borders. Everyone is vibing to the thought that you're saying, and I'm really loving it. I mean, good to have you in place right now. And I see you as a very big future leader. So let's keep my fingers crossed.
I'm blessed to have those words from you. But let's turn the tables right way and me asking you questions. My last and final question to you would be, you have achieved a lot in your personal and professional life. You're getting married. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And you have done a lot of things in Leoism in a decade's time. One, what keeps you still being a Leo Lion and doing such kind of good things? And at the same time, how do you feel both or all of your worlds come together and help each other out? Maybe you being in travel helps Leoism and being in Leoism helps your business.
See, I'll tell you one thing. Business and Leoism both require leadership skills. In business, you have to be a little aggressive leader. You need to be that go-getter. At the end of the day, what matters is that you keep the company afloat. You get your ideas in place, but somehow you still need to focus on the bottom, right? Now there, your aggressive leadership has to incorporate your vision, your ideologies, your philosophies with the profitability. In Leo, it's a little different. You have to be more servant leader. You need to be more empathetic. You are a volunteer. I'm not paying you to do your job. Similarly, when I'm coming in this organization, again, I'm coming as a volunteer. Now, just imagine what are the motivators that motivate a person to do something? Recognition, money, self-gratification. In Leoism, you learn to remove the most powerful motivator out of the picture and still get things done. That is money.
True.
Once you remove the money, you have to motivate people and get them self-gratification. Only then they'll be able to function and deliver work.
Very true, yes.
Now, when you incorporate these ideologies in your business, you become a phenomenal leader. And when you're a business, you're a manager, you're a person in a leadership space in your profession. When you bring that aggression in Leoism, you're able to bypass and build greater scope of work in the organization. So as a person, these two different roles, these two different hats somehow merge and make you a better person, a better leader who is aggressive when required. At the same time, he's empathetic.
Awesome. That was a great learning session with you. As you said, I sat down with a lot of people here for an hour or even more, and we talked. But this is one of the finest chats that I've had in such amount of time. And I am so happy that I could bring you onto this podcast and give everybody a chance to listen to who Rahul Narula is and what are the thoughts that have been resonating for so long in Leoism and who are the real change makers. So thank you so much for coming on this platform and speaking to me.
Thank you so much for having me. A big shout out to Rahul Modi. A big shout out to his home club, Leo Club of Mumbai Carter Road. You all are doing a phenomenal job and I love this session. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Bridge the gap. It's not just talk, it's a loud roadmap. Roar here to stay. Roar it out, make it clear. The room's alive, the sound sincere. This is the road.